Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Leanna if you're new, and I really like taking pictures. Sometimes someone takes photos for me and helps me edit them, and other times I have to take my own photos and edit them myself. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do just that. So we're going to open VSCO. And wait a minute, this is too small, isn't it? We're going to do something else. I've uploaded some pictures that I want to edit on camera. So let's start with this one of me and Josh. So it's a pretty decent picture because the lighting is kind of diffused. That's my favorite part about it anyway. So the only thing I really want to do is brighten it up a little bit and make it a little more glowy. So I'm going to go under the settings and I'm going to go from left to right. So I'm gonna bring up the exposure just a little bit, maybe to like 1.1. And as you can see, it's already a little bit brighter, which is what we want. Then I'm going to bring up the contrast just a little bit, just to make sure that we don't lose any color from bringing up the exposure. I'm going to go under sharpen and just kind of define this picture a little more, just because it's a little bit blurry, so I'm going to drag up the sharpness and make sure it looks HD even though it's not. Next thing is saturation. I'm just going to play around with this a little bit and see what it needs. I think I like the look of it being at 0.1. The highlights tool is my favorite one because it kind of evens it out. Before it looks like the shower curtain's really bright and then we're really dark. And then if you drag up the highlights, kind of evens things out a little bit. And then now what I'm going to do is increase the white balance just a little bit so it looks like the sun is hitting us from outside. And you got yourself a photo. And the reason this was so easy to edit was because it was already kind of like a decent photo in terms of lighting, so there wasn't really much that I had to do in order to fix it. My sister helped me take this on my iPad actually. And we didn't notice the trash can in the little corner until it was too late, but hey, it's still a good photo. Alright, so this photo is pretty even in terms of lighting. The sky was really just bright and cloudy that day, so that's why it looks super white, and there's nothing we can really do about that. But as for the rest of the photo, oh my god, this is like the ultimate VSCO girl filter. So I really like the look of this filter. It's actually my favorite one, C1. I'm gonna turn down the exposure just a little bit because I feel like it helps the color pop a little more. Like, the bush looks a little bit greener, my outfit looks a little bluer, you know what I mean? And then for the contrast, I'm gonna bring it up. Bring it up just the slightest bit and sharpen. Nope. For lower quality pictures, if you do sharpen too much, then it ends up looking like that, and you do not want that. So I'm just gonna leave sharpen alone. Let's see what we can do with highlights. I don't think it's doing much. I think it's making my my face a little bit more even in terms of skin tone. But I kind of like the light, so I'm just gonna leave it. This photo didn't really need much because, you know, it's already good lighting. I didn't change it very much. I just made it a little more chromatic, if you will. Sometimes I'll experiment and throw in a little bit of purple with the P5 filter, which is my second favorite filter. And, you know, kind of has this nice purpley look now. It just all depends on personal preference and what you think looks good. And then the next thing is this selfie that I took. It's not a very flattering selfie, but I needed a golden hour picture, and this was the only one that I could find. Alright, so lower the exposure, turn up the contrast a little bit. I kind of like how it makes my skin look a little bit tanner. I think sharpen is doing some good work here. It's making my my makeup kind of stand out. I think we're just gonna stay right around here. And tone, I'm gonna throw a C1 on it and adjust. And here we have this one. This is just a mirror selfie that I took on my iPhone 5, just to show that if you start with a lower quality photo, there's not really much that you can do to help save it. But let's see what we can do. Alright, so I'm gonna turn up the exposure. No, turn down the exposure. Contrast. Sharpen. We'll take whatever we can get. Highlights. Guess it evens out the room a little more. Evens out the lighting from the top, so that's good. And maybe fix the cropping a bit, just so there's less noise in the background. I mean, it doesn't change that it's a mirror selfie and there's a sink there. You know, there's not much I can do in terms of fixing this photo, but C1 will give it an edgier feel. And then here's a selfie that I took when I still had dark hair. And looking at the filters now, I really like the look of G3. I kind of like this photo as is already, so I'm just going to enhance the colors a little bit. First I'm going to crop it though because I don't want it to be too wide. And then bring down the exposure just a little bit for that dark, mysterious vibe. And then bring up the contrast just a little bit to get those colors to pop. And that's how I edit my pictures. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye!